Okay, this video is going to be about carousel ads and if they're profitable or not for your business trying to run ads on Facebook as well as LinkedIn. The carousel ads actually work almost identically the same way on Facebook and LinkedIn, and therefore the situations that they work in are similar between both types of platforms. If you're a B2B business, maybe you're obviously sticking to LinkedIn, but don't think that just for B2B, LinkedIn is only a place to go. Facebook ads are just as good. The only problem, and the only thing with LinkedIn is, by the way, your targeting is easier to target the individual type of person you want, whereas on Facebook, if you go purchase email lists that you can get through a company like Nextmark, you can upload a list of CTOs at companies that do manufacturing and target those people on Facebook as well and get 3, 4, 5 times as many leads, 10 times as many leads because there's more people on Facebook that you're trying to target. So that's for another video. What this video, like I said, is about just carousel ads. I'm going to tell you the situations where carousel ads work for us in our agency and our diverse kind of group of clients that we have. And so you can understand where their benefit is to you using carousel ads and where you want to kind of stay away from using them. Nothing is completely, there is no laws in PPC advertising. Certain things may work that I'm not telling you here. What I'm here to tell you is what most of the time works for us versus what most of the time doesn't work for us. And at least it's going to have you start in the right place for the most part. Carousel ads are more profitable than static image ads and video ads in certain instances. Not all the time, sometimes. Of the times that they're working good, I'm going to go through with you here. If you sell a product, whether it's to a business like B2B or to an individual B2C, the carousel ads come in handy better than the regular static ads 90+% of the time for us, when they're actually done the correct way, which of course I'm going to tell you how we use the carousel ads in terms of the execution, what's on the ad and so forth. But specifically for services, in other words, the carousel ads doesn't really come up for us. We can get done better with a static image ad or a video ad, more so than what we can get done with a carousel ad. There's not an application for it that works out really, really well. When you're talking about products, however, it's a totally different story. Carousel ads can be amazing. They actually are the better option in a good chunk of the times. Better to use the carousel ad than the static image ad because you can get more physically and visually done with it. That's going to get you more profit from that ad than the static image ad does or is. Of course, there's some situations where you're certainly going to want to use a video ad. And that particularly comes when you're going to you have a sales funnel earlier on in the sales funnel, you use video ads later on in your sales funnel. You're going to use images, and if you're selling a product, a carousel image ad can do very commonly do better than that regular static image ad. So I'm going to go into that a bit more here. So if you've seen my last video specifically, as well as some other of my last videos on this channel or subscribe to this channel, you know already that how I constantly stress, if you're going to do Facebook or LinkedIn ads, how important it is to actually use a sales funnel for your business and your campaign and to spend your ad spend on Facebook and LinkedIn. If you don't basically have a groundbreaking product that's like a totally new game-changing thing, technology, when people see it, they instantly kind of know, oh wow, that's amazing, I want to know more about that. You have more of what kind of leans to the more commoditized side of things, of what you sell is not that totally wow, got that wow factor to it right away. Then generally speaking, you need a sales funnel for your business. So basically 90% of you guys watching this, you guys need a sales funnel if you're going to advertise on Facebook or LinkedIn to make a profit from Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads. Just from the standpoint that if you go ahead and you try to come too heavy, too early in the process with somebody you want to sell to and try to pitch right away, it won't work because it won't be believed. They won't trust you. They won't trust your company. They won't trust what you're saying. If you come in first with content, on the other hand, and basically if people come to Facebook and LinkedIn in the first place not to see your stupid little ads, they come to seek, helpful content, what the friends, family, coworkers, cohorts are doing, more or useful like life hack type of information and so forth. If you come with your ad, first of all, they're trying to ignore every single ad they see as they're going to scroll down their news feed. They're going to say, is this an ad? Yes, it is. Okay, I'm not even going to read it. And therefore, it's really hard to make money with something that looks more so like an ad. And anything that sells directly looks like an ad. Whereas if you use content to sell, you can kind of trick a person into not realizing it's an ad, and you'll get a lot more attention for your money starting out and using content to advertise with. But obviously with content you can't sell very well. You'll get some sales, advertising a case study where somebody else got results, and then they'll eventually say, I wonder if I could get those results for myself too. So, but anyway, with all that said, what works the best is working together content and a direct sales pitch together, which is formerly known as the sales funnel, where you start out with just marketing content, i.e. usually the best two things to do is you promote the results that other people you are selling to already are getting. Case study type of information, you're basically showing the results, lost this much weight, made this much extra money, reduced this much extra pain, that the recurring pain, chronic pain that the person was having. And you promote that because that doesn't look like an ad, it'll get noticed a lot more. And with that, once you've already kind of built up a trust with the client, then later on, you can have an ad that says, hey, remember that case study you saw, essentially? Well, here's the product that actually got the results for that guy, and we're actually running a special on it. This month, we're offering 40% off. If you want to buy it, this is your best opportunity to buy it. And then because you've done the initial preparation of that person to know and like and trust you, that bottom of the funnel offer now will work, whereas if you went straight to the consumer with it, it wouldn't work. As a side note, we've found, by the way, I know this video is about carousel ads, but I'm trying to build up the framework of where you use the carousel ad. Otherwise, I couldn't explain which of you guys are good to use the carousel ad in what situations. But as the sales funnel I just explained, you can watch my previous video where I talk about this a little bit more in detail if you're interested in sales funnels on Facebook, as well as that would apply to LinkedIn as well. When you're trying to market your results, which if you don't have a big issue with people believing the results that your product or service delivers, basically what you do instead is you demonstrate that product or service and how it works if you can. And we're talking about carousel ads, and with carousel ads basically working for products. If you're not going to show the end result of what that product does in terms of what you deliver to the consumer first to get their attention, get their respect so when you can later on sell to them, you show the demonstration of that product. That gets the person's attention at the highest rate, and you get the most attention for the least amount of money, which means the most profit from your budget as possible, being able to advertise on Facebook and LinkedIn. And you use that to prep your audience so that they're ready to see the sales offer that you're going to have later on that has that special one-time offer, and so that you're going to get a good return from that ad and from the overall package there of providing information first on results or how the product works in action, and then come with the sales offer later. As you're coming in with information first, that bit of results that you're trying to show of like what your product actually delivers in terms of results, or the demonstration of the product, you're going to get more bang for your buck having video ads and therefore video content to do that than the any kind of static image or carousel ad, because video ads are less common or more rare on LinkedIn and Facebook. Most average non-commercial users aren't sharing video ads, so they stand out more. You got to be able to, a lot of times, to even get your ad read, it's got to stand out, and so the video ads stand out more. And also in the video ads, you can say a lot more than what you can in an image. Of course, the saying is, images, every image is, speaks to 1,000 words. Well, good images do, and it's hard to come out with an image that does that. Anybody can put together a video that, is good. It is good for 1,000 words worth of, explanation of what you basically got from it, what you learned from it, than you can with a static image. So for most people, then you're going to do better just having a video, because you can get out what that user needs to know, to have all the background behind your product there, to be able to, when they later on see the sales pitch that you have in terms of another ad coming, where you're going to use a static image or a carousel ad, you're going to end up with the whole thing working and to be more profitable than as if you used a static image, because it's going to get noticed less, and they're going to have less information about your product there, about how it works, what's so good about it, and so forth. And generally speaking, you can start out with having one video that goes over all the results or demonstrates that product, and then later on you can have a ad at the bottom of your so-called sales funnel with an image ad or a carousel ad that says, we're offering a one-time special on this product, you can get it this week, here you go, do you want it or not? The video that you have that goes over the results or the demonstration of your product, this is the most common sales funnel we use on Facebook and LinkedIn, so this is why I'm going over it like this as well. You'll usually then will do better with multiple videos. So one video shows the results one customer is getting. Another video will show the results another customer is getting. And then perhaps you have another video that just shows like a talking head style video with the product, like a demonstration video showing how the product is so versatile and how it's installed and stuff, build up the user more and have more of a rapport with that user, so that later on when you do have your sales ad that offers the product straight up, you'll end up getting with a high uptake rate. You can think of those initial early on ads at the top of your funnel on Facebook and LinkedIn that you're running there as a way to build up rapport with the user. Once you've built up so much rapport with the user and they understand, like, and trust you enough, that's the time when they're willing to buy from you. But if you don't have that, they're not willing to buy from you because they don't have any of those things. And the more information and the longer they pay attention to your initial content that you're offering them, that doesn't ask them to buy anything, the more likely they are to buy later on when you do ask them to buy something. So you would want your information that you present to be interesting enough that if you show results, it doesn't get more interesting than that, because everybody wants to know how to get the results your product offers. That's why I mentioned that. Or the demonstration, if you're selling a blender, you would just, instead of showing the results, because nobody cares about the results as much as they do just literally demonstrating the product. Otherwise, the results, showing the results physically is the better option for marketing your product and to get some initial content out there for users to build rapport with a group of people that you're trying to sell to, and then later on so that they're ready to buy your product when prompted to. So in summary, video ads to an audience, promoting your results or demonstrating the product, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different of those videos to build up rapport. For people who watched at least 10 seconds of one, or you can test if making sure that they've watched 10 seconds of multiple video ads, which you can do with Facebook specifically, and you can also do a little bit of that stuff with LinkedIn. You can then have them be in a separate audience, which they're able to see that your sales pitch offer, which is going to be something that, again, says we're offering a special on this. It's the Halloween special. You give them a reason why they're seeing the ad. Otherwise, they'll see it, okay, it's for sale, who cares? I'll buy it later. It eliminates procrastination, and then you're going to get somebody that's that you're building up, but your perceived scarcity and urgency in what you're offering. So you have a much higher uptake rate in the case that you're using money to get an ad out there that asks that user to buy a product that you spent good money educating that user on how it works and how it can help them. You'll get good results from your overall sales funnel that you're constructing. That's the type of thing that you normally would just need to do on Facebook and LinkedIn in order to be able to have a profitable campaign going there. Whereas, most people think if I just have my product there for sale, people will either buy it or they won't. And again, unless you have something that's totally groundbreaking, that usually doesn't work. 90% of you guys have to have a funnel, generally speaking, to get it to work. You have your funnel there. Now, as you get to the bottom of your funnel, this is where the carousel ads come in. So you have your video ad there to build up some awareness and attention and respect and rapport with the user to get them ready to buy your product. They watch 10 seconds of that ad at least, because you can dictate through Facebook, they must watch at least 10 seconds of this video to know that this user's built up at least this much rapport, because if somebody watches a video for 2 seconds, you're not going to build up very much rapport with that person in terms of you wanting them to see the results that you got for the other customer and then have them be impressed by that and therefore trust, know, and respect you from after seeing that. Later on, then you can have your other ad that asks them to buy, and that can show up right after, up to 30 days after basically they watch that video, which is about the time frame you want to go with. Now, you could, in this case where you're asking them to buy for your second step of your sales funnel, the video ad doesn't work as good anymore, because you got to be able to sum up what it is that you're asking them to do at that point real quickly. Okay, they know it's an ad, that's fine. A lot of people will ignore your ad because they're trained as they're scrolling down your newsfeed, is this an ad? Okay, I'm not going to read it. Just like if you get your junk mail in the mail, when you get your get your mail and you go to your mailbox, grab your mail, you go through and what do? When you sort through it, you say, okay, this is an advertisement, garbage. Advertisement, garbage. People view the Facebook newsfeed in that case of that. So you don't use a video for that because you can't be as direct. It's not going to work as good, generally speaking. You do a image ad instead because it gets to the point quicker. Now, you could use a regular static image ad, or you could use the carousel ad. And what we're finding is the carousel ad will work better most of the time when you're selling a product, okay? With the services, not the case, but with products, again, yes. And in that case, there's a very, very specific formula that we'll follow here that I'd like to get across to you here, which is the very first, on your carousel ad, by default, you're only going to see one image, and then directly to the right of that, you have another image showing. If you click the next button, then there's actually 3 images showing. A part of the left, part of the last image you saw, then the main image, and then part of the next image. Anyway, before they click the next button, which most people aren't going to click at that right away, right? But anyway, of that image, you have your product there showing on the default image on the left side. So if you're trying to sell, that blender or whatever, then you're going to put that picture of the blender. It could be a white background with the blender there. It could be you have a blender, sitting on a countertop, what we call a lifestyle type photo. And then directly to the right of that, you have a image or a still from one of the video ad or one of the video ads that you had before for the top of your funnel in there, present on the second image of the carousel, or the second card as they call it in the carousel. Why do you have that? Well, simple. For a sales funnel to be effective, that user, the whole point of the videos is to build up rapport with the user, like I was telling you before. If when they see your sales ad, they don't remember everything you said and did with them before with your initial video ads, the sales ad isn't ever going to work. The sales ad by itself doesn't work. It only works when you've built up rapport with that user through the use of the videos. So to stimulate the reminder of what they saw and were impressed by with the video, you'll have a still from that video on the second image to remind them of what they saw earlier, in which you need them to remember in order for that product, that pitch to work, right? So if you have that blender for sale, you can just show the blender there, and then next to it you can show, if you were doing a blender demo, one of those infomercial style like videos where you still do today, still to this day see different video ads, television infomercials where they'll sell a blender or a kitchen appliance and they demonstrate it for 60 minutes. And anyway, you could take a screenshot of or a still or one frame from that video while you're doing the demonstration, something that they'll remember as a part of that video, and put that as the second card Okay, so when they see your product, they'll also see there a still from that video that they remember. So they tie together what they remembered about that video with the product that they're seeing. Because if they saw the static image with just the product on it, some of the people won't remember the previous video with the demonstration that has all the stuff that convinces them to buy in it, itself at that time. So therefore, it increases the recall rate of the previous video that you need them to remember to buy. So that's specifically why and where we'll use this carousel ad to our advantage and make a bunch more sales. So we've heavily tested this. Carousel ads work very good for this type of sales funnel specifically. And this sales funnel that I just explained to you again is the main #1 type of sales funnel we're using for Facebook and also additionally from LinkedIn ads. With LinkedIn ads, if you're selling a product, it would be the same way there. So you get the general idea there. Respectively, to take a step to the side here, some people will use the carousel ad if they're selling a product, and they might want to show, different, like if you're selling a teeth whitening product, show different people's results with the teeth whitening and the carousel. For me, we've tested this. It doesn't work very good. We're not going to do this. Why? Because if you want to show multiple images like that, you'd be better off showing multiple images within a single static image ad than you would have in the carousel ad, because the carousel ad now restricts you basically in what you can do, so to say, okay? And that's just what we've kind of learned. As per what we were just talking about here, for that, we want to be more direct at the bottom of the sales funnel. We don't want to, kind of overwhelm them with too many things. So if we use our static image to have our product there and then try to remind them of what's on the video, there's too much going on there. Therefore, it takes away from the conversion rate of that ad. Whereas if we have our product and then just off to the side, there's clearly another image over here. It's not the main part of the ad. It's just enough for them to remind them of what they saw before, and the video that they saw before is tied to this product. It actually is a good middle ground of not trying to have too many things going on in what they're supposed to be seeing and what they're supposed to be getting from that ad, but also put yourself in position to have that person remind them of the other video that you put out from your brand for that person to see, if you follow me here. So anyway, with that exact situation, carousel ad works very good. Whereas in other situations, a carousel ad actually divides the user's attention of what they're supposed to be focused on so much that the conversion rates and the cost per conversion, I should say, or ROI of that campaign isn't as good using a carousel ad over a static ad, because it divides the user's attention basically too much. It's the same thing with a landing page. A lot of people don't understand landing pages and why they're so expensive and hard to do. As someone's looking at a landing page that you have that you're driving traffic to, if it's a dedicated landing page for your campaign, the order in which people read things on the page is very, very important. You got to have the eye flow, as per what it's called in the industry, what people are going to look at. If a person gets to your landing page and they can't tell what they're supposed to focus on first, it's not natural what they focus on first, and then second, and then third, they're going to get confused and your conversion rate is going to go down. You want it to be, for a majority of the people who hit the page, obvious what you look at first, then what you look at second, and then what you look at third. As it comes to a carousel ad, if you don't know what you're supposed to focus on there because there's two actual images showing, then it's basically worse than nothing. And the same thing applies for if you have a website and let's say you have an e-commerce website. Commonly still people have rotating banners, and they have, or if they have some kind of animation going on, that animation distracts you from what you're supposed to focus on. And there's ideally something you're supposed to focus on first, and then second. And then if you have something else going on, it distracts you from that process. And then anytime you distract the user like that, your conversion rates will go down. So anyway, there's no reason to have a carousel ad to try to show multiple things. You figure out what will mostly get their attention and then just promote that. Unless you're in a situation like this where you want them to remember what they've seen before, and then in that exact situation, it works out very, very well. So we'll use a carousel ad with a sales funnel that starts with video and then, for the sales pitch instead of the static ad, because we'll make double digits more profit by just having that carousel ad versus the static ad, as we found in our testing process at our agency. And so anyway, with that said, now if you're wondering about the other cards, there's up to 10 cards that you can have, or 10 images, if you will, on your carousel ad. Basically from there, what we found is you can add those other ones in there. It doesn't hurt. Apologize for just a second here. So you can take advantage of the other cards that are there. You do want to take advantage of those other cards that are there. You could get by with just 2 images in your carousel ad in the situation I gave you when you're selling a product for your final ad in your ad sequence there. Bottom of the funnel sales offer. The carousel ad will crush the static ad basically every time. For the other images, if they go to click more, if people, the inquisitive person that wants to see more information, you always provide more information. It's like on a landing page. On a landing page, you don't want to bog users down with too much information, but what the perfect medley on a landing page is, 80% of the people will only want to know, 10 or 20 core things. 20% will want to know 100 things. But if you try to bog the 80% down with the 100 things, your conversion rate overall will go down, because most people don't want that much information because there's too much to sift through. It looks daunting sifting through all of it. So what you do for the other 20%, instead of just saying F you 20%, you put links to other resources where that person can go and read to their heart's content, but you aren't bogging down the whole everybody else, visually with all that information on the page. You just say, if you want to know more about this, click this link. You can go to a whole other page to read just about this. And then another point where it's appropriate, if you want to know about our warranty, click here. We'll tell you all about our warranty. You don't get into all the aspects of the warranty right then and there when 80% of the people don't give a shit about the details of your warranty. But for the people who do want to know about your warranty, if you don't tell them, they're going to say, oh, I don't know about that 1-year warranty. Maybe it's bullshit. I don't believe it. And they're not going to say anything about it. Oh, forget this offer. So anyway, that pertains to this, you can actually, other things that in the sales process that people normally think of, you can have other cards that are dedicated to that and take people to supplementary information. Or so you could just do what we mainly do, which is have other cards that have a mix of other people's results. If you have, with the video ads, if you focused on showing other people's results, leading with the results, you can take other cards to show other people's results. So instead of, obviously on your video, you show off some people's results, there's another result from another person, another person's results, another person's results, another person's results. The more people they see get results, the more likely they are going to think they can get results. Particularly different types of people. People, if they're old and they see an old person, oh, now more likely I think I'm an old guy, I can get results too. If you're doing, but that's basically only if you were showing and focusing on the results and where you thought showing the results was important in the videos. Otherwise, showing other, demonstrations of the product, I mean, you can do that, but if you were going with showing the demonstration of the product, not the results, or leading with the results in the video ads, then I'll usually just show other lifestyle photos of the product. In other words, if your videos at the top of the funnel were showing and focusing on a demonstration of the product, then I'll just show other photos showing that product in other situations. If you're selling a grill, showing a grill at a campsite, then showing that grill at a basketball court, or so on and so forth, to give that person other ideas, visualizations of how else they're going to use this product. It's not just about what I'm thinking about, but there's all these other things. They all would link to the same landing page where you want to take them to, where that product's sold. And with the results on each card that shows another person's results, the best would be to link to a dedicated page that goes into detail on that person's results, because some people are going to want to know more detail about the person's results in order to be sold on the product. And so, and for that matter, even though you started with all these video ads to warm the audience up and people that you're trying to sell to, and then you have your carousel ad to sell your product, Generally speaking, you're not going to send this person to an e-commerce page on your website that doesn't have very much information on it and get a good result. You're going to have to send them to what I call a pre-lander, which is basically you have a long form sales page that talks about all the features of that product, how it's made, what are the 4 or 5 uses of this product, why this product's different than other products, FAQ, and then at the bottom of that landing page, which I call it pre-lander, it's just a landing page, then it'll say the price of the product, and then they click a link to so-called shop now, and then it goes the user gets taken to the e-commerce product, the normal e-commerce product page that you have on your site for that person to order. Because normally e-commerce product pages don't have enough information to really sell that user on the product. It's just not enough. And so if you go too much too quick with the user in any sales process, which the sales funnel is just a sales process, you're going to lose conversions. You have to know the right time to ask for the sale, in other words. Good salespeople know when to ask for the sale. So you have to know how much information the average person needs to have to ask to be able to optimize the amount of profit you're going to make before you ask for the sale. And generally speaking, video ads and then your first ad that shows the product, it's not enough. You got to still send them to a landing page with a whole walkthrough of that entire product and what else is, what else it does, how it works, all that stuff again. So just wanted to also throw that in there. But anyway, carousel ad for you guys selling products works very, very good. For services, not so much. And respectively, people, you're not, and again, you guys trying to sell your product or service with just one ad, for each person to see one ad, very, very difficult to do that unless you have something amazing. And people buy the hole in the wall. They don't buy the drill. The drill drills the hole in the wall, but they don't buy the drill. They want the end result, as the saying goes. So as per that, whatever your product does, or service, it also applies to that. We're mainly talking about products today. You initially lead in to get the user's attention with the results that your product gets or service gets. And then from there, you can take that attention and get it into, we have a product, you want to know more about this product that gets these results, you can get a sale that way. But if you try to just go in selling the drill, even though you say that drill drills holes, it's just not going to, it's very rarely going to work for you anymore in 2022 and beyond. This is just the way that it's kind of been for a while. People are a lot more skeptical than they used to be 10 years ago on the internet selling stuff. And so just lead with the results. And if you don't have results that are unbelievable, like I said with the blender example, people will believe that you can make, whatever chop suey that you're trying to make with your blender. Then you go over what that product looks like and try to make it entertaining as a way to draw a user in, because that's the type of, people are looking to be entertained on Facebook and LinkedIn. They're not looking to be sold to. After they've been entertained, and through the entertainment, you work in there and you weave in there all the reasons why you want to buy. In terms of an infotainment style video, that's the time when you ask people to buy. You're not asking them to evaluate an unknown product, because they can't physically evaluate every product they see on their feed. It would take too much brain energy. So if you start with something they do want to, content that they do want to consume with information that would, back a product that you have or a product that's out there, and then you ask them to buy, it's not asking them very much to do at that point, because they already know what the product does, and you're giving them, there's a reason for them to have been shown that, which is that product you thought was pretty cool, we're offering a one-time discount on it. So you're not asking them to do anything that they normally would want to do with that type of funnel, if you will. So it's more of a seduction process than a sales process at that point. As online marketing, that's good, that's great, is more of a seduction than a sale. You don't want people to think that you're selling to them, as is if you were selling to somebody in person, you wouldn't try to sell someone per se. You would try to build up a rapport with them, asking them what type of problems they have, consulting them, and then sell. And then as that comes to that, it doesn't seem like you only care about money at that point. So anyway, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. and consider giving it a thumbs up. So it will really help us out, and I'd really appreciate that, so that other people can also see this video, and more so consider subscribing, as I have a lot of other content on this channel about money-making strategies that we're using for our clients here at our PPC agency, so you can be able to use the same stuff for your own company and make more money from it, as well as stay away from stuff that doesn't work, that we've tested, tried, and normally just doesn't work for us and our type of clients either as well. In addition to this, by the way, I also have a blog that I've personally produced at guaranteedppc.com/blog with step-by-step instructions on how to build PPC campaigns just like this one, that are effective, that work, and that we're using to guarantee our results to our clients at our agency. So if you want to know more detailed information on how to do PPC setups like this, you can find good information there from myself. Beyond that, if you have any questions about carousel ads, anything, I didn't cover everything that you can think of about carousel ads, just the main things that are important that I feel it needs to be covered. If you have questions about them, anything else, leave me a comment below. I'll get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, so I'll get back to you as well. As a side note, I've put together a new program at our PPC firm. We're offering turnkey PPC campaigns, landing page templates from campaigns that are already generating millions of dollars in sales, for people that are in markets that are in parallel markets to where you could be in and could use their same setup that we've used and spent millions of dollars of ad spend and time, multiple years of time optimizing those campaigns, that you could use for your own stuff as well, in situations where using their same setup would not be a conflict of interest of what they're doing, or in some instances where those businesses have moved on to something else and the campaigns are not being used anymore, even though they were still effective. We have Facebook campaigns, Google campaigns for a bunch of different markets like that. If you would want to learn, if you would like to buy specific campaigns that are running actively today or were running recently, is not currently used, we could show you what we got, what results they're getting. You can verify those for yourself. You can learn about what's effective, and then if you want, you can use the same exact campaigns and their campaign templates and landing page templates that we're using to generate those results for a flat fee. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me at Guaranteed PPC. We can talk about it. Beyond that, hope you enjoyed this video, and hope to see you on the next one where I have another great idea for you to be able to make more money with PPC and make some more money. So see you then.